The great state of Georgia is an interesting test case in what EVs can be, how they can be built, and why people might want to soften up to them at least a little bit. Yeah, Georgia has been on my mind. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futurasa. So before we get started, I wanted to give you guys a quick update on my travel plans. It looks like I will be at Fully Charged in Canada on Vancouver, BC, September 7th and 8th. I'll be at the Electrify Expo in Seattle on the 14th and in Portland for the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association Ride and Drive event, where I'll be presenting. The following weekend, the 21st, I will be in Ocala, Florida for the Cyberfest, the big Cybertruck Get Dirty event. And then I will be, I assume, covering 1010. No idea. And then I'll be in Las Vegas for October 26th for the Big Light Show. That's exciting. That's exciting stuff. But Georgia. Georgia. Now, this is going to sound a little bit like politics, but it's not. It's policy. It's business and it's policy, so let's get into it. We've got much to cover. EVs are transforming Georgia, but voters aren't sold yet. Southeastern states are benefiting hugely from EV investments, but some voters still need convincing. So America is deeply divided on EVs. If there's one thing that encapsulates how profound it is, it's Georgia, reports Suvrat Kotari. Apologies if I butchered your name, did not mean to. Over the past 3 years, some 35 EV projects have landed in historically red states. Investments are adding tens of thousands of jobs, boosting local economies, and helping with the fight against climate change. Whether or not you believe in climate change doesn't matter. These are jobs, and these are better cars. They last longer. They're just, you'll see. If you haven't got one yet, you'll see. And that's a good time to mention that the referral program is back. You can use my referral code to get $1,000 off your purchase of your new Tesla. It's very fun. All right. And this link is to Washington Post. We will get over to the Washington Post in a moment. But let's look at this. Georgia loves EV jobs. EVs, not so much. The Meta plant, interesting choice of name there, Hyundai, is starting with the Ioniq 5, which is rolling out any day. It is almost ready. They've been training the workers. It's well underway. Billions have been spent from the IRA, mostly in rural red congressional districts, battery component makers, battery recyclers, all of them creating decent paying jobs. So it's interesting to look at. There are political statements in here. Please don't litter the comments with person I hate bad, person I love good. We're just talking about policies. Republican Governor Brian Kemp has vowed to convert the state into an electric mobility capital. And when he toured Mercedes and Porsche factories in Germany, both companies have their U.S. headquarters in Atlanta. He was persuaded by German executives about their EV plans. Might have been a little premature because, yeah. Then it goes on to mention Rivian in here, which is unfortunate, or maybe that's in the Washington Post article. We'll get to it. So that means that these big investments in battery factories and EV factories could be in danger, depending who controls Congress, Senate, and the White House in coming months, and by what kind of majority. It's hard to stop a law once it's been put in motion. So let's jump over to the Washington Post and see what they're talking about. The unlikely center of America's EV battery revolution, Georgia's gaining thousands of jobs, but lawmakers are hesitant to fully embrace it. My lesson in all of this would be, do you want the factories? Support them, especially if you pledged to support them, support them. It's a battery plant that looms over Interstate 5 like a monolith. The vast parking lot extends almost half a mile. Online, it's so big, some employees have complained about the walk. On a Friday afternoon, let's see. So this is an SK Innovations factory to make batteries for the Ford F-150 and the ID4, the Volkswagen. It employs 2,600 people in a town of only about 7,000. Battery plant, yeah. And Georgia isn't the only state. It's a bunch of states, and they're all doing quite well with these investments. These are clean energy projects announced since the signing of the IRA in billions of dollars, $15 billion to Georgia. Oh, that's peachy. Tennessee, $10.9 billion, Michigan, South Carolina, Texas, Ohio. Now, if you look at these, that's a mix of red and blue states, but all states are a mix of red and blue people. That's the part that team politics don't seem to remember, is that we are, at the end of the day, in this all together. And there are a lot of red voters in California and a lot of blue voters in Texas. Georgia Republicans haven't fully embraced it. The Senate passed a tax on public EV charging. That's bonkers. I get it. You got to pay for your roads, but boy, that's going to disincentivize EV ownership, especially among those who do not have homes. Those who have homes will continue to charge at home. This tax will barely affect people who are able to charge at home. Free training, low taxes, right to work state. It's good. It's got a lot of it going on. And whether you're a recycler or a parts manufacturer or, Toyota, Ford, BMW have also descended on South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky, investing billions in battery and EV plants. The Department of Economic Development offers to help companies find a site, guide them through the permitting process, and big players can also receive tax abatements. Here it is. Rivian's factory received an estimated $1.5 billion in tax abatements. Let's talk about that real quick. A tax abatement is not a gift. It is a discount on future taxes that you would pay. That $1.5 billion was never given to Rivian because they didn't build the plant. Rivian's cash burn is extreme, and they had to put that plant on hold so they would have time to not go broke, or at least not do it quite as quickly. So let's jump back over here. So we've got, a lot of the people in these states are doing good work. Pat Wilson, commissioner of the Georgia Economic Development Agency, said the state has learned how to quickly attract major electric manufacturers. Georgia wants to be ready for the opportunity with free land, ready to go permitting, and workforce training. It's working. They've added tens of thousands of jobs, almost 20,000. Georgia Tech examined almost 20,000 collective bargaining agreements, found that right-to-work laws are associated with lower wages. Well, that's good for the companies, I suppose. Maybe not as great for the employees. The lackluster EV policies. In March, legislators approved a plan to tax electricity delivered by public chargers at about 3 cents a kilowatt hour. It's not a huge tax, but it is a disincentive. EV drivers already pay a $211 registration fee. So that's just a double hit. Not cool, Georgia. Other southern states have almost no electric vehicles and similarly unfriendly policies. Why are we doing this, man? I was going to say, do you want EVs or not? But the answer for whoever it is that's passing laws at the state level, apparently the answer is no, which is unfortunate. And if we're going to talk about silly politics, we should mention this one. California lawmakers urge Newsom to put electric vehicle fleet mandate on hold after I-80 truck fire. Now, I went ahead and read it, so you don't have to. It's not lawmakers, it's one guy. It is this guy, Tom Lackey. And all he cares about is lower taxes. Stand up for public safety laws and protect victims. That's great, but let's see. Oppose new government mandates that will raise California's sky-high electricity rates even higher and make gasoline more expensive. Why would nationwide? There's no reason why mandates would drive the taxes or the cost of gasoline higher. If there's less demand, then there's, less buyers competing for it. We've seen during times of slowdown, recession, and even lockdown that gas prices tumble because there aren't enough people to buy it. Don't you want low gas? If you want low gas, make all your neighbors buy EVs. I've said before that if you don't support vaccines, make all your friends get them. because then you won't need to. I mean, it's very frustrating to see people trying to do things that bring jobs to the state, bring a huge tax base to the state, and then not get the support on the other side. Georgia, what are you doing? What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? All that good stuff. And if you get a chance, maybe you could throw me a little bit of support. You could do it on Patreon, on YouTube as a channel member, on X as a subscriber, or use my referral code to get $1,000 off your new Tesla if you've never had one before. Yeah. Stay tuned and juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots on the flippity flop.